grow, watering them, tending to whatever flowers or plants that she sees that need tending to.
Okay.
Yeah, she's not really gonna. She's basically got like. She can grow her own food. She keeps it attached to her robe.
Sure.
She
Absolutely.
grows it off of her robe. She grows berries
Right.
in her hair sometimes.
What kind of berries did she grow today? Did she have? Did you like want like something sour, something sweet? Like, is there like something that like kind of gives you an idea of Nithlia's vibe in a certain day? Like, if somebody sees a bunch of blueberries, is that like a like be like, stay away from her if it's red berries, but if it's blueberries, it's fine. Like anything like that.
Um, she really likes raspberries,
Like raspberries.
but nothing super in depth yet.
Okay. Okay. So like, what kind of berries are you growing right now?
Raspberries,
Okay.
because she likes raspberries.
Hell yeah. Okay. Um, so we see Nithlia there. When Aland, you just you feel the sense of magic washing over you as all of a sudden the teleportation gate finishes. You find yourself now standing outside of the biblioplex. Um, your endless thirst for knowledge, like gnawing at the back of your brain, when you see Nithlia out over on the west side of the entrance, tending to the plants, just kind of uh, minding her own business. The
She's in like her own little world.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're now. You said it like a couple weeks into studies now.
Yep. Well, not the studies haven't commenced. It's still like very much like an orientation, getting people sorted into their dormitories. Students are still flocking in who haven't even begun orientations. Like this is very much like the beginners like first month. Hey, come get acclimated, figure out what you want to do in Strixhaven, and like get yourself situated, basically.
Well, I'm
You're you cut out there.
towards Nithlia and see what she's up to. Oh, sorry. I'll head towards Nithlia.
Okay.
And see what she's up to, because the biblioplex isn't going anywhere, whereas people around here are.
Okay. So, Aelin, like as you begin to walk over towards Nithlia, you hear the what has now become like a familiar din. It's like a humming noise that then coalesces into like a crackle of almost like static electricity, and then you hear the sound of like a quick like zip as like people now start to appear behind you on the teleportation gate and are like very quickly scurrying into the biblioplex, probably to grab like some of the early morning like meals and stuff that are being prepared there.
Well, yeah, I'll still head over towards Nithlia and say, like, "Are you going to eat?" Nithlia?
So you get the sense that Nithli's in her own little world. I don't know if what would necessarily jog Nithlia's attention. Santana, I don't know if you have a specific input on that. Aelin was just introducing himself for the morning. He saw you over at the flowers and saying hi.
Okay, sorry, no, my roommate came in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
No problem.
But He's introducing him? I thought I already knew him. I thought he was
No, I'm
already.
just saying hi for the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
And
was
are
like,
you?
wait, what?
Yeah, sorry. You didn't respond at first when he was like, "Hey, how's it going, Nithlia?" And like silence, and we're like,
Yeah,
"Nith-"
sorry, no, my roommate came and talked talked to me, so
Oh,
everything just, it's like my whole brain just went in blue screen.
yeah, no, you good, baby girl.
Um, hold on, let me get into character, because I wasn't in character. Good morning. Uh, how are you today?
Same as every other day. I'm here. So, are you going for food or what's happening?
Oh, I usually grow raspberries in my hair, and I just kind of pick them and eat them as I tend to plants. Would you like some raspberries? And I just have like
Um,
a laurel
oh,
filled with raspberries on my head, and I
I
just pick one off.
why, thank you. And I grab it and I look at it and I go, I might save this for later, and I'll put it into my pouch
okay.
because
Sure, no problem. Would you like to help me tend to the garden? Or these plants with flowers?
um, do the plants look like they need help?
Some
Um,
of these plants have been taken care of improperly. I
Uh,
just look at how some of like the bushes
sure.
have just like overgrown,
Yep.
like just small overgrown things. Like they
Yep.
just don't look perfect. So she's being nitpicky
They,
about it.
yeah, I was gonna say they might look like a 9 out of 10 to most people, but for you they're like a 3 out of 10. You're like, no,
Yeah.
yeah,
To her, she's like, what the fuck is this? This
right,
is garbage.
right. Okay, so Nithlia, why don't you give me a nature check, and we'll take a look at like what you're finding and why this seems like such a no-no.
Oh, I clicked for that. Oh,
So
here it is. I see it.
cool.
It took me a minute.
Hey, no worries. Ooh, okay.
Oof.
Um, so maybe what we see is not necessarily like I think that they're definitely overgrown, but like what you realize is the problem is not immediately apparent to you. Uh, Maybe it's the fact that Ayland, now that you've come over, you're noticing that like her hair has been unintentionally like grabbing the burrs, like the seedlings, from the bushes as she's been working, and have been like accumulating on her hair and like tangling more and more.
wait. Her hair is doing that on its own?
No, no, like the
'Cause
her
I'm
hair is
like,
like as it brushes by some of the bushes, like while she's tending to one, her
There's
hair is like
thorns in my hair.
yeah, like there's like thorns and like little burrs from like those like annoying ass plants um that like are getting caught in her hair, but she like doesn't seem to be aware of it. Like she's very nature inclined, sure, but like these are like very likely to eventually tangle up into this giant ball of hair that will be very hard to separate in a very short amount of time.
So
um,
she almost has no common sense in this situation, essentially.
oh, okay. Um, well, I don't personally see anything wrong with the plants. They seem to be doing okay, but I mean, I'm no expert here at all. I can't say for certain.
Like you definitely like you can see like Nithya is like shaping and sculpting the bushes to be a lot more like uniform along the rows, um, like to use this area as an example, um, like this row of hedges is like not very well trimmed, and so like Nithli is just taking her hand and like sculpting them into a more pleasing aesthetic. But like you're noticing like as she's sweeping her hand around, like her hair is like just draping near the edge of the hedge, and it's like picking up a bunch of burrs every time she like moves around to like clean a couple more areas.
Hmm. Uh, see, so I'm trying to think if I can do that. Well, I'll attempt to help out,
Okay.
at least on the bush portion of it, um, because I actually do have Druidcraft myself as well,
Okay.
and I will sort of like see if I can line these up to where I think she's like to basically speed up her work a little
Okay.
if I can. and
Make it
help out.
make a nature check just to see if you can kind of like get on Nithlia's like vibe in terms of the aesthetic she's going for, like the feng shui she's going for.
Nature check, or am I sort of like getting an idea, like trying to do insight here for her? Which one, which one do you want?
Yeah, I
Nature?
mean, you. I think it's probably. Hmm. I think
I
ultimately because you're not very familiar with the understanding of the plants themselves, it's probably the handling the plants you're probably going to need to be more like
mindful of.
mindful
Yeah.
of. Yeah, that's probably a good way to put
Okay.
it.
Sure. Let's try it out then.
So, Nithlia, you basically can shape these hedges as you wish. It doesn't seem like any groundskeepers or anything are giving you any grief. Seems like most people are actually quite like. You see a couple students who are like sitting on the grass a little further south, or kind of like looking over as you're like sculpting these hedges. Um, do you have a specific like style or shape you would sculpt these into? Like these are like your like Pixar esque very bushy hedge mazes that are or hedges that are very easy to sculpt into almost any style.
Hmm. Um, I just kind of keep them round because I want them to grow as healthily as possible,
Okay.
and I don't want to cut too much of the bush because I don't want to hurt it for whatever reason.
Right. Okay.
So in my attempt of trying to make round, I'm starting to. I think I'm trying to do spherical almost. Trying to
Right.
Miracle.
just try, try to make the branches twist in a way that makes them look like they're more perfect in my eye of things. Should be like more round. Say mathematically round.
Awesome. Okay. Barry, it's maybe been like an hour or so since you woke up. Where do we kind of find you when you arrive at the biblioplex? Like, do you go right to the cafeteria to get food? Do you take a walk around the like campus area? Like,
Yeah, I'm kind of like not running, but walking very quickly to the cafeteria.
okay,
I'm very disheveled and very uh, thirsty. I need something to drink.
okay,
I didn't have anything to drink in my dorm, and I'm still out of sorts, so to speak, from this
right,
dream I had.
for sure. Okay, so as you enter, you see Isla like look over and like pick you out of this crowd where like you've been slowly like pushing your way through the throng of students that are here. There's like at least 100 students near this the cafeteria right now, and you're like pushing your way through, and like Isla spots you and like smiles and waves and beckons you over to the cafeteria's like little like cafe desk area where they normally sell their breakfasts and the like. Um, and unless you would like to do anything else first, it looks like she spotted you and is like inviting you over.
Yeah, I head right over to her.
So she's like, Barry, it's so nice to see you. Hope you slept well. And she smiles and then like takes a look at your disheveled attire and like a quizzical glance at first. Um,
I did not sleep well. Um, do you,
oh
do
dear.
you have any milk?
Milk? Of course. And she like claps her hands together, turns around, reaches into a pouch, and like pulls out what is probably like a liter and a half glass jar of like sealed milk, and like clunks it on the desk. And she's like, "Do you want a big or small?" And like as she says small, you see a smaller jar slide up beside that looks like maybe it's like half a liter.
I grab the big one and take the cap off and start chugging it.
Okay. Make a Constitution check for me. So, Barry, what what is your thought process? You're just like chugging this down, and then you just feel like maybe there's like an air pocket that like slips in, and all of a sudden just the water, or sorry, the milk just rushes at you, and you just suddenly realize like you've this lid on this jar is way larger than maybe you were realizing, and like the milk just all over you, and Isla just like her eyes just open wide in shock, and you hear like some chittering and like some snickering from some of the student body that are seated at the cafeteria.
Damn it! I turn to the people who are snickering. I'm like, "You've never spilt milk before?"
And almost one of them, you guess probably a silver quill, is like, at least I don't cry over it.
I'm not crying. I'm just wet from milk.
Could have fooled me. And then all of a sudden you just hear more of the students just begin to laugh.
I throw the bottle at them.
Jesus.
Okay. Are you throwing at the bottle at the heckler?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Make a ranged attack throw. Attack roll. There we go. So just give me a d20 plus your dexterity. So I guess you could just do a dexterity check, I guess. So it would probably... Alright, so you throw this glass, or this glass jar, which, again, it's like 1.5 liters. It's quite big. And we just, like, we get that slow motion, like, food fight montage as, like, the jar... And, like, there's still some milk inside, and we just watch as it, like, empties onto students in the, like, the rows closer to you. And then, like, crashes down onto the desk right in front of this silver quill student who you can see has silver hair on one side, black on the other. Like it's basically split down the middle, one side black, one side silver. And like it shatters in front of him and he like stands up. He's like, "That's it. It was just meant as a jest, but if you want to fight, it's on." And then you hear probably from farther back than you would expect, and most likely it's a Prismari instigating this, but you hear the roar of food fight, and the cafeteria becomes a bedlam of food and drinks being tossed about. Um, and Barry, you suddenly find yourself under assault by many different students as the instigator. What do you do?
I try to catch as much as I can from people throwing things at me and throw them directly back at them.
Okay. Can you give me either an athletics or an acrobatics check for me? Okay. Try as you might, you're pretty much a sitting duck. You're dead in the opening of the cafeteria, and a good chunk of the people who have been sprayed by this milk have made you target number one, and you find yourself covered in mustards, in relishes, in spreads and jams of all types, and, you know, a piece of cold salami upon your face, and a moment later, you find yourself inundated in food and drink with basically an empty banana peel as the only thing you're really able to hold on to. Ironically enough, uh, Nithlia and Ayland, you guys are beginning to hear like an ever-growing chatter as you like notice students sitting in the grass a little farther back over here have begun like perking up and like looking over as you see like there are students now like at the entrance to the biblioplex, like peeking in to the building, but like the group is growing and growing because students keep teleporting in from the dormitories, and like there's like a very noticeable group of students like chattering and like encouraging, and you're hearing like cheers and jeers. What do you guys do?
Look
Can I
up.
go and what was that?
Oh,
Sorry,
well, okay, wait. Who? The both of us?
Both of you.
the
Or
both of us.
okay. Well, I hear them, but I'm gonna keep tending to the plants.
Uh,
Just kind of look up, then I just go back to what I was doing.
I'm gonna go check on that. That doesn't sound normal. Well, probably in the past 2 weeks, there's probably been a few of these. I'm gonna guess, Ryan.
Oh yeah, like a food fight breaks out at least once a week. Like it
Okay.
feels like it's almost an intramural sport in and of itself, but not teacher sanctioned.
Right. Well, kind of. Yeah, kind of interested. I want to see what's happening in there, just because the last couple of times we've seen that there's been it's got a little out of hand, and I'm kind of interested in seeing those ends of school life at the moment.
Go for it. I just don't want anything in my hair or on my clothes.
The irony of that is like
I
birds
know,
are like,
I'm thinking in my head like,
well done, well done. I love it.
right, okay.
Like, because Niflia would rather have branches and twigs and stuff stuck in her hair than
Like
people's
food.
chewed food. Or people's food. That's disgusting.
Well, I don't have any hair, so I'm okay with this, I guess, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna start going that way.
It's easier to clean.
That's totally fine. That's his prerogative, not mine. It's true.
No, absolutely. That's like very obviously like Nithlia's like, nah, nowhere fucking close. Nope.
I'm like, ew, it has nothing to do with plants. It has nothing to do with me.
Aylin's meanwhile is like chaos among the student body. I'm in.
Yep.
It didn't have to be food, but food is a certainly fine alternative.
Chaos among the student body? Ah!
Yeah, exactly. You got it in one, baby. All right, Aylin. You begin making your way over, and very quickly, like you notice that there's a good chunk of students. Like you want to say, at first head count, like at first glance, with you being taller than a decent amount of the student body, there's maybe like 50 people just like crowding at the doors, trying to get a peek in at various heights and like pushing and jostling. If you want to like get a better view of what's going on, you're probably gonna have to make your way through them, or find some other way to disperse them.
Well, if they're all looking that way, I look around. Are there any teachers?
Make it a perception check.
Okay, it's gonna be bad. Oh, don't see a single person. I was like,
No, you like look at the bush for a moment, and then you look at the next bush, and you look at the next bush, and you're like, no teachers.
all right, well, I'll keep heading that way. Once it gets close enough, I will. Oh God, I can't believe we're gonna do this. I'm gonna cast sleep on the ones in front
Oh
of me as
my.
I'm walking forward.
Okay.
Just walking instead of surf fall.
All right. You cast sleep. Give me a sleep roll. Fine. Let me know how many hit points have been pacified.
26 hit points.
You like start by the people near the door, but you realize like half the people in front just like poof, hit the ground sleeping. Hard
Yep.
snooze.
And I start stepping over them as I go, keep walking through the door.
as like the students like fall asleep and you begin like stepping over, you realize the other students are in like a mix of confusion, like concern, and then like their opportunity to see what's going on is like right in front of them, and so they begin crowding at the door again.
Right, and that's why I was trying to time it to get through if I could, or get as close to the edge as possible.
Yeah, I don't think you have a problem. You pop inside the building to see what is target number one, Barry Slaughter, being absolutely mauled by all manner of foot-long sandwiches, um, soups and cereals.
Is he the only target?
It seems like the target that gets painted first gets painted the most. And
Oh,
like you're
jeez.
seeing other students have like taken the opportunity while the students are distracted to like pelt one another. Like Silver Quill students are like grabbing food and like mixing a bit of ink in there and then like tossing it so that it like stains a little bit more. Like some mischievous types in there. You've got like some Prismari who are literally just like sitting at the back, like against the wall, just like watching this and like sketching of all the different like colors and like various displays that are occurring from this cacophony of food and mess. And then like as you like look over at one of the Prismari who's like sketching, you just watch as like half of a BLT just smack straight in the face.
Of
And
me or of the Prismari?
no, straight in the Prismari's face, and you like watch them as like disgust shows over their face, and they, like take their book, they take their bags, like shove it all in, and then they like grab the closest food and just huck it at somebody. Like no clue who threw it at them, they just grab it and start fucking hucking it. And you can tell like this is probably only going to grow and grow until a professor gets involved. And from what you can see, there doesn't seem to be professors around right now for whatever reason.
Hmm. Uh, do I see any like food trays or anything like that I can use as like a shield as I'm going through this?
All right, make a perception check for me to see if you can find an unprotected food tray.
I see what I probably think is an unprotected food tray and just take it from a student. That wasn't even in the fight, and I just sort of go put their food off of it and start walking off with whatever tray.
Yeah, you like pull the tray, whoop, and you just watch as like their bowl of cereal like tips over and spills, and they like look up at you, and like the fuck, man.
It's all in the name of science. And I start walking away, trying to like using it as like a shield over my head as I'm walking around the edge to get towards Barry without
Okay.
without having too many students on my side
Okay.
or on the other side of me.
Make a stealth check with advantage then.
Still check with advantage. Yeesh. Oh, a split.
Yeah, I was gonna say a critical fail and a critical success. Good thing it was advantage. Okay, yeah. Barry, all of a sudden, a very tall fellow, shielded by what you maybe realize now is a kind of comically oversized food tray. Probably meant for like the trolls that attend the school. Like it's one of the bigger food trays. To Ayland, it looks like a normal food tray, but you know. And like your moment to quote unquote escape has arrived, or do you start firing back? You've got a whole cafeteria, like cafe area, chock full of food.
As I've been pelted with food and it hits and falls to the ground, I'm trying to recognize which pieces I could actually hold on to and throw back. So I've got like apple cores and all kinds of, like peaches and things like that. They're all
Right.
mushy and whatnot. And as Aelin comes next to me, I do notice that on the table behind him is a pizza.
Okay. Pizza first thing in the morning, great. Is it cold or hot?
I don't know because I haven't touched it yet.
Okay. What's the game plan?
Well, I ask him to pass me the pizza.
Do I see this pizza here?
You look over and sure enough, there is a pizza. It looks like a couple of Silver Quill students were like sharing it, but like it's looking like pretty prime food fight material.
I step towards them. I say, I look in both their faces and go, "Excuse me," and I grab the pizza and slide it over to.
Make an intimidation check for me.
Oof. That's a low roll for me.
As soon as you like swipe the pizza, a couple of the Silver Quill students stand up, and one of them casts a spell at you, like clearly aggravated.
Oh, are we rolling initiative now? Because this is gonna go off.
Well, we'll see. Just gotta find the spell. Oh my god, where is it? Sorry, I apologize. I'm trying to find the Silver Quill students casting list here. One sec. Um, casts Bane upon you.
Oh Jesus! All right. Bane, I forget how. Do they have to roll for that?
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now here.
Uh,
Wow, that sounded like a burp. I know that wasn't one.
I
But...
know, right?
no,
Like I
it
was
was.
like, I was like, bless you,
Sorry.
maybe.
Excuse me.
I don't know.
I like I heard that.
Just,
I was
it's
like,
just a low resonant value.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's fine.
That's the
Charisma
perfect sound
saving
for a
throw.
food fight.
What was that?
So
That's the perfect sound during a food fight.
Yeah.
true. It's just the troll sitting in the middle, just grabbing food out the air and shoving it in his gullet. Just like sees a sandwich hoagie flying over, just grabs it, shoves it in his mouth.
So it's a saving throw for this
Yeah,
one?
charisma saving throw.
Okay.
Barry, can you also make the charisma saving throw, please?
Sorry, you said charisma?
Yep. Whew. Oh my. All right. He like turns, points a finger at you, and is like, "Fools!" And like realizes after a moment that like the magic seems to have like flowed out from his fingertips and then just like dissipated.
Did he choose a third target as well? Or...
You're not sure.
Okay.
You look around to see if there's like any lingering magical effect, but you can like tell there's like a little bit of like panic. Obviously, like the spell that he's clearly been practicing for at least a few weeks, just like straight failed. At least on the people that he was immediately targeting. And you have a pizza.
Okay, so I grab the pizza and I lay it on the ground on the floor with me, and each piece I take, I start mopping up the wetness on the floor and start making like pizza balls.
Oh God, Jesus!
What a
do
little
you
agent of chaos.
do you have the
That
spell
is Daniel's
catapult? Because God,
characters.
that'd be
The
hellish.
most unhinged, like, God, unhinged as fuck.
That's Daniel's characters in a nutshell, I feel like.
Like, you look at him, you just see the little monkey with symbols.
All right, Barry, you make these pizza balls. What's the plan?
Well, I'm gonna throw them.
All right. Who are you targeting? Like, is there a specific target you want to pick out? Is there?
I'm still trying to get the guy that first called me out.
Okay. So the
Uh,
silver quill
it,
with the parted hair with the silver and the black. Okay.
Silver and the black, yeah.
Okay.
I
Uh,
can see this sort of thing happening where he's like balling up things right now. I know he looks so. What's the word I'm looking for?
exposed.
Pathetic.
Oh,
It's not-
pathetic.
in my head. Like he's just covered in food. He's like
Yeah.
little balls of pizza. I'm gonna give him a bardic inspiration at this point. It says, "Good job, man. Way to go." So he gets an extra.
Barry's pretty focused. He doesn't care what he looks like right now. He's just
No,
focused.
I understand. I'm giving you a better chance of success right now. That's all.
Thank you.
As I'll even sort of duck down and help him with the shield that I've done, so that it's covering me and him being adjacent, I guess.
Okay. All right, Barry, you're behind cover. You've got a projectile or 3. Feel free to make. I'll allow you to make 2 attack rolls to see your success, plus your dexterity mod. Roll a d20 plus your dexterity mod. So it'll be like slash roll d20 plus whatever dexterity modifiers. And while you do that, Nithlia, in the meantime, it seems like a couple students have like begun to like take wonder of the work that you've done, because you're getting to the edge of the hedge, and it's now looking immaculate. Prettiest hedge you've seen today, which of course isn't few, but it's the greatest work you've done, and you're beginning to feel a sense of accomplishment. It looks great, and like some students are coming over and they're starting to appreciate the work that you've done.
She's just too focused on what she's doing.
Okay.
And she's just gonna keep continuing to perfect them.
Okay. You had no dexterity modifier, Barry?
I couldn't figure out the formula, so I just used the dice on the left-hand side. My
Yeah.
dexterity mod is 3, so that's 22.
Yeah, so there, I just typed it out. So you essentially would roll something like this. You without the period in front. You would type like slash roll, put a space, put your die number. So in this case, d20 plus whatever modifier you have. Don't worry about it for now. But that
I didn't
would
have
be,
the space. I didn't have the space in between rolling.
that's my
D20s.
fault. I forget to mention that sometimes. I forget. I've been on Roll20 for thousands of hours. It's like common sense to me, but I should make sure people know about it. Otherwise. Okay, so that's what's your dexterity modifier?
3.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Dexterity is hold on.
Modifier plus proficiency.
Minus.
-1?
Yeah, my dexterity modifier is -1.
Okay. So your improvised ranged weapons launch out of your hands like magic missiles at your target, and we see what is maybe like the most snowball fight-esque moment as we see like the silver student who's like stopped focusing on you and just reveling in the enjoyment hears like a cry of like "look out!" and like turns, and dead square in the eyes, 2 pepperonis and the dough all over, as the sauce just like trails all over his face, and you
Sweet.
just hear silence as this thing just smoked him, and you just like see him like his head reels back, and like the pepperonis just like peel off of his eyes, and like his eyes have like rolled back in his head, and then the second one hits, and everybody starts laughing. Everyone.
Awesome.
And a moment later, you realize like now that everybody's kind of been started laughing, a couple students have like come over to you and like very sheepishly are like, "Hey, we're sorry, we got caught up in it," and like they're like very obviously like trying to like apologize for their role in this mess.
Barry kind of ignores their accolades or apologies, but walks toward the guy with the silver and black hair laying on the ground.
Okay. Nobody touches you. Like everybody moves aside, whether because of the smells or because of this like bullseye. You have a clean walk to him.
As he's lying on the ground, I walk right above him. I pull out my dagger and I cut a lock of black hair and a lock of silver hair and stick them in my pocket and
Jesus.
walk away.
Oh my god. Oh god.
You grab his bangs, and
Yeah.
you cut him so and then you release them, and then he's got a fringe. So you're trying to say,
Oh
like,
my,
Unhinged.
oh
Unhinged.
my god. I'm fucking dying. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. You are the victor. To the victor goes the spoils, and
as long as you didn't scalp him, that's all weird. Jesus.
yeah, like everybody else is like, at first they're like, yeah, yeah, and like a couple of them like were considering like picking you up and putting them on the shoulders, but like as soon as you like cut the locks off like the front bangs, they're like an eerie like uncomfortable like should we cheer, should we like get the fuck out of here moment occurs, and like you like maybe you absent-mindedly like put your foot on his chest and was just like,
Oh, I step right over him,
oh okay.
like right on him, over him. You know what I mean?
Okay. And yeah, all of a sudden you just hear like one clap become 10 claps, become 100 claps, and like the student body is just like cheering, like, and all of a sudden like you like have one of the kids like leans in near you and is like, "What's your name?"
Barry. Barry
Ba-
Slaughter.
Barry Slaughter, Barry Slaughter, Barry Slaughter, and all of a sudden you hear the unmistakable throat clearing that we all recognize of the immediate sound of a professor. What do you guys do?
I'm going to very. I'm gonna try and help the guy up that's on the ground with the black and silver hair, but as I'm helping him up, I'm gonna like try and persuade him to say, "Hey, that actually looks really. The haircut looks really good." So
Oh
I
my
guess it's lying
lord.
to him, but
Okay.
just so he doesn't get upset with it so much.
Right. Oh lord.
Is that deception? Or persuasion? Which would you like?
I mean, Barry, I get the impression you didn't do like a clean cut. Like this is a messy cut, I'm assuming.
Oh, it's messy. I was making a point.
Okay. Ayland, it's a deception check for sure.
All right. Here we go. Oh, I couldn't be with advantage.
um, if you come up with a reason why you'd probably have advantage, I could give it to you.
um, because he's dazed and confused because he's just been pelted 2 times in the head with. So he's mildly concussed. So
Okay.
he'll.
It's like one of those like, hey, just take 2 of these and you'll be up in the morning, okay? And you're like, okay, Dad.
Exactly one of those moments, and the shock and everything involved in that moment.
Okay.
I think he'd be a little bit more pliable.
Pliable. Hey, Saber. Sorry, cat grabbed my shoulder. Wanted attention. Hey, kitty cat. Okay. Yeah. He like nods as if like at this point, like he's like, yeah, oh, okay, I'll keep it. And like we said, just like hits the porcelain stone as you hear the and like all the kids like, oh shit, and you like immediately notice like some of the tables closest to the doors start evacuating.
Do we see which professor this is? I'm assuming it's Professor.
Yep. The professor is a black robe with silver trim, a very visible silver quill pin, a lapel like right on their breast, and she's wearing her hair up in a like, God, how do I best describe this? As it's like it's a horrifying fashion statement. It's like a palm tree. It like goes straight up and then like sprouts out like a fountain.
I love when people do their hair like that. It's so fun.
Fair enough. Sorry. I mean, she's got like very obvious like red makeup. Her eyes have been very obvious like mascara and like eyeshadow, and she's like sitting there, and she's like her eyes are locked on Ayland and Barry. As the other students like begin to scurry away. Nithlia, you've like your like cleaning and like trimming of the bushes is taking you towards the front of the building now because there's only a couple of bushes left, and you can kind of like see the students like fleeing out, and you realize like Ayland hasn't like come back, and like there seems to be some sort of trouble afoot.
Um, all right. Uh, uh, she she looks up and she notices people are leaving, so she kind of just wanders towards the door and just peeks inside. Um, she doesn't know if the fighting has stopped or not, so she doesn't want to go all the way in.
Okay.
She's just looking to see what's happening, to see if her friends are okay.
Right. So I think we see something like akin to like Professor McGonagall, like looking at like Harry and Ron and Hermione, and like why is it when there's a problem it's always you three, like that like moment from Harry Potter, like it's one of those like you guys again, and you can see now this with her hair is she's probably about 7 foot tall, but she's more like 6 foot. Um, a tall, very slender, silver quill professor. Her coloration of her robe being black means she's of the shadow portion of the curriculum. And she's currently like glaring daggers at Ayland and Barry, and most of the other students have now vacated. You can spot like Nithla, you can kind of see towards the back, like behind Ayland's big frame, the cafeteria caretaker Isla. She's like just kind of like has been like staying hidden, watching this all unfold. Good likelihood she'll say something to the professor after the fact, but um, it's kind of like waiting till it all dies down.
I'm just gonna stay hidden.
Okay.
know if I would actually notice the glare so much.
Okay.
I'm almost thinking I'm still trying to help that guy up, as I was saying I was doing before, and he's just wanting to lay on the ground. Dude, you don't need to be on the ground. Come on. Get up.
Okay. Uh, as far as you can tell, Ayland, like, he is, like, basically knocked out. Like, if you
Oh.
want to help him up, he needs to be, like, woken up. And,
He really was concussed to that point? Okay. Got it.
like, he had his world rocked by, like, a dough
2
ball.
pizza balls.
Like 2 pizza.
Yeah, exactly. And, like,
Right.
he was basically made the laughing stock of the first years, at least from from who was present. Like, there's definitely going to be a story about this later. You know that. And he's just, like, done. The best part, Ayland, and you're, like, noticing this as you're, like, looking over his unconscious figure, is, like, that silver part of his hair that, like, got pizza sauce all over it. It's, like, a reddish hue. And you're, like, pretty certain that that pizza sauce doesn't, like, come out very easily in terms of a stain.
Jesus.
So he's gone from, like, this, like, two-tone, like, hairstyle, which, you know, arguable at best on fashion, as now, like, this, like, red splotch. And
It's
then a bunch of,
muddled
like,
reds. Yeah.
yeah, it's, oof, this, oh boy. You're pretty sure magic could take care of it, but, like, oof.
Nothing I got.
Yeah, there'll be some mental scars, at the very least, for him. Barry.
I walk up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk up to in front of the professor.
And, like, as you walk up, she just, I think it's probably that, like, that typical or atypical, like, arms crossing, shrugs her, wiggles her shoulders a little bit, like, as if to, like, settle herself into a more, like, gaunt stance, and is like, student, from what I've seen, you seem to be the main, how would I say, culprit? Care to explain yourself?
Oh, I completely instigated this. He insulted me.
Who insulted you? And she, like, looks around. And then, like, you see maybe for the first time she notices the Silver Quill's robes, like, on this first year student.
I pull out the black and silver hair from my pocket.
Oh my god.
And hold it in front of her and let it go, and it drops to the ground.
What are you, what kind of I don't even know. I'm trying to think of how I would respond to that if somebody were to do that to me. Um, yeah, I think you're
This is
just,
the
like,
identification. It's the person, the gentleman laying on the floor that Ayland's attending to.
like, what?
Ayland had nothing to do with this. He tried to stop me.
Okay, make a persuasion check, because now I kind of have, like, you're trying to explain things, and we're gonna see how much she believes your side of the story.
Remember, you do have a bardic inspiration if you wanted to use that.
Very true. So I
Sure, I'll use it. How do I use that?
You roll a d6 and we'll add it to it.
yeah. So slash roll, put a space, d6, and that should give you your. Okay. All right. You get a moment of you can watch as her eyes, like, look over, and, like, you, like, watches as you, like, pull the hair out and, like, are holding very obviously this other student's tufts of hair, complete with, like, some stained, like, pizza sauce, like, hair, and like you let it go, and you watch as her eyes like follow the strands, and she like fixes you with a glare. Um, that to most people would probably send a shiver down your spine. Like it's a murderous, like very like frustrated, angry, insulted, like this is not the end of this, but I'm also an adult and I need to behave, and I will find a way to make your life living hell. Most likely. And her smile, which you notice now, like as you're super close to her, she's like maybe in her 70s. Her smile like is a crooked, wiry, like as the makeup like pulls along her smile. She like smiles and says, "Yes, I'll be dealing with the Silver Quill student separately since he is part of my um, faculty." Barry, which faculty was part of your um, uh, and she like pauses for a moment because I have suddenly mixed up the words. Which college has chaperoned your invitation to the?
I actually can't remember.
I believe it's Witherbloom, isn't it?
Yes, it is Witherbloom. Yes, thank you. Witherbloom.
Ah, Witherbloom. I should have known. And she like, you hear like a disdain that probably is given to every other college that isn't Silverquill, and like you could tell she's probably just wanting you to like put yourself out there. Your robes that you're wearing, the silver ones with the like the black and the green fuzzy trim, like it's very obvious you're probably Witherbloom, but she looks over at Ayland and then looks back at you and says, um, "This incident will be documented in your school curriculum and logs. Um, I would recommend that you be on your best behavior for the next little while. We would hate to have too many incidents on your report too quickly." I heard the microphone, but not the response. Question mark? Danny?
I will keep these outbursts to a minimum.
See to it that you do. I think I got a perfect example of who this like makes me think of. Um, oh God, what's what from the Emperor's New Groove, the lady
Yzma?
Yzma. Thank
Yzma.
you. Yes, basically Yzma, but with the like palm tree hair and like the silver bloom with the like the yeah. Wrong lever,
Pain,
Crunk.
pain, pain!
Yeah, pull the lever, Crunk. Wrong lever. Yeah, that is essentially who you're currently dealing with. She's a little bit taller, but like, that's essentially, I think, probably the best visual for her. And so you get that like crooked, wiry smile. It's like, yes, see to it that you don't.
What's her name? Her actual name?
She hasn't introduced herself to you.
Okay. I will try my best. Professor...
Professor Silver.
Professor Silver.
Yes. Is there anything else I could help you with? And she like looks over. You get the impression that like she probably has some sort of like magical like campus book that she can like rifle through for knowledge on like the students, but like think of it like a police. God, it's a bad example, but like a police database where they're like they like look at the student and then like it like
He's an op.
search. That's why I didn't really
He's
want to
an
use this
op.
example, but like that's why I didn't want to use this example, but like it like over time eventually is like, okay, this is the student you're looking at. Like it's like an ocular like enhancement, like a magical enchantment of some sort. It seems like most students have this where the professors have a way to with enough time identify most students. Um, but she like for the first time like addresses you fully with your name as so Barry Slaughter of the Witherbloom Collegiate. Um, I pray this is the last time we have a confrontation like this. Um, and needless to say, please be wary. I know that Silver Quill students under our tutelage can be rather boastful, but they can also be very, very sneaky in the ways that they try and gain an upper hand. So, just please be careful, darling.
I will keep my eyes open. As I'm looking at her, I kind of put my head down and my eyes down in kind of a submissive way, just to let her feel that she is winning.
Okay. Um, Ayland, Nithli, you guys probably see this, but like the instant he like bows his head, you get the sense of like she's like, oh yeah, I've got this one. Professor is the best. Everybody submits to me. Queen of this country, type of like vibe of like ah ha 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 ha. And she
I'm
like
gonna scoff so loud that she hears me.
okay.
The second he puts his head down and she like smirks, I just in the back.
And like you just see like that Urza Irma. I'm gonna mess that up. She
That's
like that
okay.
that eyebrow like cooks up like a good like 6 inches. Like you've never seen a more skeptical glance make its way over to you, Nithlia.
It doesn't intimidate me. The fuck?
Wow.
So I still laugh. I look up and I make eye contact with her,
Okay.
and I continue to chuckle.
Okay. All right.
What am I scared of her for?
Uh. Okay. Why don't you make a just a charisma check for me?
Charisma? Okay.
Yeah. So like a D20 plus your charisma modifier. Like it's not like you're necessarily like trying to intimidate her or like persuade her or anything like that. So like I'm having a bit of a I just want to kind of see charismatically where you guys stand on a pecking order.
It's / roll D20, right?
Yeah, / roll, put a space, and then D, in this case 20 plus whatever your charisma modifier is.
20 plus.
You could just press the charisma button, couldn't you?
Yeah, okay, I see it.
I wasn't sure if that would roll with the modifier.
I don't know. Can I just do the D20 and then press charisma?
Yeah, go for that.
Oh, I got a nat 20.
Oh shit. Okay. All right.
Nice roll.
So like you scoff, Nithlia, and like you like maybe don't see it yourself, but Aelin, Barry, like you guys hear the scoffing, you like turn your head, and Nithlia is like standing in front of like the 60, 70 students that were like that had both like piled out of the cafeteria and also had been originally put to sleep a little while ago by Aelin. And like Nithlia scoffs, and then a couple other students scoff, and then like everybody's mimicking Nithlia. Like not to like make fun of her, But like to show the professor she ain't all that she thinks she is. Like there's never been a more resounding scoff. like and like she like all of a sudden realizes that maybe she's like trying to show off a little bit too much, and she walks over and you can hear the clack of her heels on the tile floor, especially now that like everything's gone mostly quiet, other than like the students snickering and like pointing at her and like very clearly like mocking this professor, Silver, and she like goes and like picks up the student, which maybe surprises you a little bit. Seems stronger than she might let on. Picks up the student in her arms and says, "Wake up, Weatherington. Come now. We need to discuss this with your supervisor." And you could tell that there's a very obvious like disdain. Again, she's been like very disdainful the whole time, sure, but like she's like, "Great, I got to tell your supervisor that you started shit again, and now look where it's gotten you." More shame on Silverquill. And so she like makes her way past, takes one last glance at Barry. Ayland, she like looks over at you, but it's very brief. And then she looks over at the rest of you and says, "Well, run along, class. I'm sure classes will be starting in." And she like looks down at or looks over at the clock that's like hanging above the entrance wall, the entrance doors, and is like, 5 minutes, and you wouldn't want to be late for your classes. And she like smiles a most conniving smile, and she walks towards the back end of the building.
After she leaves, Barry gets down on one knee, reaches into his inner cloak pocket, and pulls out a leather-bound green diary. He then grabs some of the black and some of the silver hair and sticks it in between the leaves of pages in his book.
Okay. Okay. All right. You hear a chime resound through the school as your like first like organizational classes are beginning. You guys have all been automatically enrolled into magical physiologies, which is the course that you guys are about to be expected to show up for. What are each of your plans? Do you attend the course? Do you choose to skip out?
I'm headed to the showers.
Okay.
Class starts in 5 minutes. I say.
I also am just gonna go to class, so Nithlia just kind of waves over to them. It's just like, come on, let's go. We're gonna be late.
I'm actually gonna like try to help Barry out here so he doesn't have to go to showers and say, "Can anyone clean up my man here and see if we can
My man.
see if he can get the glass away?"
Does anyone have prestidigitation?
Nithlia, this maybe surprises you, but you see Ruida kind of emerge from the crowd and go and lift her hand meekly up. This very short elf. She's like maybe 5 foot tall for an elf, which of course is surprising for most people. And she like raises her hand meekly. She's like, I know prestidigitation. My dad taught it to me. I can probably help.
That would be of great assistance right now. Thank you. What's your name?
My name is Ruida.
Well, thank you very much, Ruida. You're
And if anybody wants to write it down as a note, it's Ruida.
Ruida.
And last name is Tree Speaker. Okay. And with that in mind, Barry, you find yourself relatively clean. There's no trace of food nor stain upon your clothing. Um, your hair, bit of a smell, but like there's a bit of like a victory, like feeling right now. You have like this rush of euphoria from like this like triumph, for lack of a better term. Um, you could probably get through the class, and nobody's probably gonna say a word, considering you turned like you kind of, you showed them. Um, but do you still plan on attending or heading to the showers or?
No, I'll go to class now.
Okay.
I turn around and apologize to Ela because I see it's the. Sorry, we have to go to class. I'm sorry. Just for some reason, I started doing like finger guns. I don't know why. It's like,
Hey, sorry about that, sweetie.
yeah, sorry.
Nah. Nothing but the best for ya. Nah. She's like leaning on the counter, looking over at Barry, and then looks over at you, Aelin, and says, "Oh, hush, it's no problems. We'll get this cleaned up right quick. We've got the cogwork librarians who handle most of the books. Well, we have some cogwork janitors who do most of the cleaning around here. Don't you worry, we'll have it all taken care of in a jiffy. Feel free to run all to class. I got this."
Appreciate it. Again, sorry for the issues.
I owe you one.
You sure do. You still haven't paid me for the milk, but take care of that after.
Sorry. Okay.
And she like shoos you all along. She waves a hand, knowing full well she's probably gonna do most of the cleaning, but like what else is she gonna do during her downtime? And you all head to class. When you guys enter into the classroom, where do you guys decide to sit? Keep in mind, this room basically, like, there's at least 50 students here. This is just to give you a general seating idea of, like, where you sit. Back of the room, back corner. Fair.
I'm not trying to make friends with these people.
Respect. Barry, Aelin.
I don't know if you've noticed, but every single person that has tried to befriend Leah has come up to her. Just saying.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I was gonna Barry, front of the class.
Not wrong.
No, you're not wrong, but I mean, you're also
excited.
like out of character. I mean, Nithli is not exactly like going forward to seek out people, so like, I feel bad, but like, I kind of gotta put people in front of you, otherwise, you're just gonna go, I do nothing, or I do my thing, and like,
I know.
I feel bad.
I'm
I want you
kind
to be
of-
involved too.
I kind of want to be like overseeing everything, so the back wouldn't be terrible for me, but I'm probably like here so I can see the whole class.
You're also the first person out the room when the bell rings.
Yeah, kind of impatient that way.
All right. There we have it. Okay. I'm going to try and remember your guys' seating arrangements as much as I can.
Did you say that Barry was nearsighted?
Sorry, farsighted.
Okay.
And what you guys do notice is that despite it being the first day of magical physiologies, there's no sign of Oodle.
Nithlia
Huh.
kind of just looks around confused and she's just like, the outside eating dead. Let's start today. And Nithlia kind of just looks over at Ayland. She just kind of mouths, Oodle. She just looks confused.
Can I try and do perception or insight? Because a distance that I'm having and the fact that I'm trying to pay attention in class, I don't know how I'd
Okay.
respond to it.
Class hasn't started, but
Yes.
I would agree that like there's probably like a din of like students chatting and whatnot.
Right.
Yeah. Probably I guess yeah, an insight check would probably be apt. I mean,
It's either noticing or understanding, and either
yeah.
one's going to be an issue. So we'll try insight. That's a no.
Yeah. You look over and like you see Nithlia mouth something, but like
And I look
Oodle
over and
is like one mouth movement.
I'm looking over and like, I think she's singing. I just don't know the words. There's just like, what song is that? And then I try thinking in my head, like it starts like I look away and start you get that foreshortens like distance when you're looking at like what is that song? I know it. You're just lost in your own thought for a second.
Leah just kind of gives up because she's like, yo, why'd he turn his back on me?
Well, I didn't turn away. I just like turned your full back and just started looking forward instead.
Oh. So she's just like, what? She just gives up. She's like, wow, okay, never mind.
Guy's dense as hell, clearly.
He's not the most observant. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. So, the court. After a few minutes, a professor does enter, wearing a silver academy robe. Unlike many of the other schools, which have colored robes based on their particular um, teachings, this one just has a Strixhaven pin. The five leaves that represent the college, plus the gold star on the inside. And if you guys take a look, like I'm just going to mention, if you guys are looking for what that looks like, in case you ever need to identify it in the future, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Um, your guys' tracking sheets have a large Starhaven symbol and what that looks like. It should be with your character sheets, so be sure to take a look at that. This is where you're going to be jotting down most of your like relationships, what your report cards, your extracurriculars, if you have a job, etc. This will help you guys out with like how this all works.
Are we supposed to be able to add things to it?
Should be able to edit it, I thought. Question mark?
No. I can't access anything on it.
Weird. Okay, hang on. Let me look at yours because it says it can be edited by. Can be edited by Ayland. Weird. Here, I'll just show it to the players for now, just so. But yeah, that star is the Strixhaven, like pin / emblem of the school. The leaves representing the different colleges, the middle being like the nexus of mana through which the school grew, and then the star representing the excellence of the school itself. Quandric students would take appreciation in the fact that the symbol is actually a one continuous line of some of the pieces, so it's all intended to kind of link together. But yeah, so the course begins, and you guys, can I get each from each of you You know what? No, Barry, can you give me a Constitution saving throw? And Ayland, how about let's get a Constitution saving throw from you as well?
That's too bad.
No problem. Okay. You guys had a bit of a taxing morning. You guys kind of feel like the energy slowly kind of grinds to a halt at a certain point. Um, but there is a little handout that goes around towards the halfway part of the course during this session. Uh, there's a little leaflet, and on it is asking a couple questions about like what you're interested in, and like what you would like to learn more about. And it requests like um, there are many monsters that inhabit um, the world of Alar. Um, is there a type of creature or mythological creature that interests you? And like it asks you to like list one. Um, Ayland, I will go to you first. What would be one like mythological creature or creature that you'd be very interested in learning about during the magical physiologies course?
Mythological or mythical feature?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like whatever comes to mind now. Like keep in mind that could always change.
The first thing that I kind of want to know about, I was thinking about was me. So
do you write me?
I write me. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I look at the mythological portion, like,
Okay.
Yeah, it'll do.
Barry, what kind of answer would you give for creature or mythological creature you would like to study?
Sphinxes.
Okay. And Nithlia?
Giant trees that come to life and stuff.
Ooh. Trance and ents. Okay. Okay, awesome. So after a while, the professor comes by, collects the papers, and the rest of the course kind of passes by uneventfully. A lot of it was like your very first day in college, where they go over the syllabus and like what the plans are and what you guys will learn about. Um, but what you guys do know is that at various sections of the syllabus, you know, are um, like peer review and some like room for potentially some custom learning, where they're most likely based on like the information that you've provided. Um, a good chance that like in some method or another, at least some course matter will be directed to kind of going over those to just to kind of further immerse yourself within the school, like just to kind of help feed your curiosities. Like no, I wouldn't say it's like a self-learning day kind of thing, but like meant to be like if you're interested in this thing, you know 12 weeks out of the curriculum, that week will be dedicated to one popular monster selected at random from the list that was provided. So like one of these weeks might be. What's that?
I said, oh God, no.
Yeah. Yeah. Week 2. Ayland. We are now studying Ayland.
So that's more like show and tell.
Yeah, exactly.
Potentially. For Ayland it is anyways. For the rest of you, going to see a sphinx or meeting a Trant or an ent would be a very different thing, but there is basically like an unacknowledged like promise that at some point during the curriculum they're going to delve into your favorite creature, just to kind of like help get you, help pique the curiosity of yours. With that done, the bell, the chime of the school, a loud, resounding, like almost organic chime rings through the school, as if you had like a very big like, bah, as if somebody, Phantom of the Opera style, like big organ. The class has ended. The students have begun to file out. Um, and as you guys begin to leave, you hear the professor, although albeit a little quietly, says, "Don't forget to register for the rest of your courses. If you have any questions, come to the back of the biblioplex, the student facilities. We'll be more than happy to help you." And like, what do you guys do once class is out for now?
Is it lunchtime?
It's approaching lunchtime.
When did he say that everything had to be done by?
You guys have about a week or two left before the end of the month when the classes start in earnest. But if you wanted any like advance notice of like what's coming up in the course or anything like that, the sooner you register, the more information that you guys will get on what's coming up.
So these are like kind of like class audits, basically, or course audits.
Yeah, it's essentially you're picking the classes that most interest you that you want to study throughout your first year. Magical physiologies is a given, and I apologize. I had kind of mentioned this to everyone else, but here I'll put this on show to players. Um, we pick 3 courses that you are taking this year, either by going from the 6 that are provided, or by coming up with your own with my assistance. And the only other one in addition to those 3 that you choose is magical physiologies, which is the study of monsters and mischief and all the like. So, of these 6, if any of them interest you, be sure to jot them down, and then we will, if you want something a little bit more specialized or you want something more specific to you, we could certainly look into creating classes for those, but they'll be a little bit less like popular for the student body. These are like the popular courses. And I'm hoping that popped up for you, Barry.
Yeah, I'm just reading it. It looks good.
So yeah, probably by the end of this session, if you guys could figure out what 3 you guys each would like to choose, that would be great. The rest of the day goes by pretty uneventfully. You return to class for the second half of the magical physiologies, like introduction, which ends without a whole lot of mischief or mayhem. There's a few students pranking each other very early on, which is pretty quickly shut down by the professor, and students are kind of cowed by that. And so you find yourselves now with the rest of the evening at your fingertips. Some students have talked about going to the cafes, the Fire Jolt Cafe, or the tavern, to spend the evening with fun and games. Others have talked about heading to the library to areas to do more reading. Nithlia, you were extended an invitation to join people at the horticulture and botany areas, if you were so interested.
She is, so
Okay.
she would probably go
Okay,
to the garden area.
for sure. So I'll pull that up for you. Ayland, Barry, is there Anything specific that you guys would be doing after class is done for the day?
Barry's still interested in going to have a bath or a shower, but he'll definitely be willing to meet up with anybody later.
Okay.
I think Aylin's gonna go to the bibliopex and see if we can find some more information on what these classes entail, so we can narrow the view of what we for where we want to go, or broaden the spectrum of what we can learn.
Okay. For sure. Okay. Then, Ayland, I'm gonna have you do a research check for me.
Okay.
So I'm gonna have you roll. Um, um, it will be a intelligence check. Are you? How heavy are you going into this investigation to find like these types of books? Like, are you just asking around? Are
Well,
you
you
like?
had said that at the back of the biblioplex you could.
Oh, okay.
talk
So
to-
you're just gonna go to the student council and student.
Yeah. Well, you
Okay.
start small and work your way, and then
Okay.
branch out from there. Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, I
exactly.
misunderstood. That's my fault for not clarifying a little better.
No issues.
Okay. Then I will pull that up for that. Okay, extracurricular. The ones you're looking for, Nithlia, you may want to make a note of this. This is an extracurricular activity available to you. It's called the Fantastical Horticulture Club. These green-thumbed experts love mixing magic and gardening to create new strains of vegetation, many of which are cultivated on the campus. If you'd like, I can go over more options, but this was the one that Ruida had recommended to you. The big benefits to extracurriculars, and something that you guys will probably want to keep in mind, you can gain the benefit of 2 extracurriculars, as noted below. If you work on campus using job rules, you can only really have 1 extracurricular because your job takes up the time of the other one. You can only start an extracurricular at the start of a year. Joining an extracurricular halfway through doesn't usually give you enough of a benefit. The way it works is an extracurricular gives you what's called a student die. And the student die is a d4, essentially like a bardic inspiration, that you can roll and add to ability checks that involve skills related to your extracurricular. So like in the horticulture club, you'll get a d4 that you can roll towards nature or survival checks, just as an extra bonus, because now that you're doing this extracurricular, you know even more about it than you would have before. So there's lots of different ones here. I'm going to actually just give you guys I'm going to show this to you guys. You guys are welcome to browse through this. These are some of the characters you'll see here. Like, you can join any of the following, and like what skills they're going to give you, and like some of the characters who are also part of those extracurriculars. Nithlia, the orc that you guys had met before Urzmektok, is part of the horticulture club, and is just as much of a green thumb as you are. The cool thing is, once you join, you can choose whether you want to have like a rivalry with the fellow students that are in the course, or whether you want to have like a different relationship, like whether you want to have a friendly one, and you can choose that ahead of time. So, like, you basically can set up how you handle the students in the courses that you encounter. So you don't feel like you have to like every time role play. Like, yeah, every day I say hi to Urzmektok and treat him nicely. Like, you don't have to role play that. Like, it's assumed unless you're like, I want to be a rival. So anytime I get a chance to like upper hand on Urzmektok, I'm gonna do it. Like that kind of thing. It's going to be a lot for right now. I do apologize. It's mostly just setting this up so that we know, like, kind of what you guys are going to be really excelling in during the school year. It's also going to give you guys a lot of backdrop as to like different events that are going to come up that will play off of the extracurriculars that you guys are doing. Um, and then just to be on the fair side, there's also jobs. Um, so there's stuff like jobs at the biblioplex as like a book clerk or a a cafe worker, somebody who works in the cleanup crew, somebody who tends the gardens, etc. So there's a lot of different ones. So again, you can basically choose one job, one extracurricular, or two extracurriculars, whichever you prefer. Jobs will, of course, provide extra funding so that you can, have some more money to spend as your schooling is paid for, but not the actual um, like expenditures that may come up.
You mean like food?
No, like the food is generally paid for with some exceptions. Like, if you want any additional food, like they basically supply like a cafeteria meal every morning, but most students don't take that. They'll buy their own food.
Hmm.
What was that? Sorry. Sorry, I thought somebody spoke up. I apologize. If you have any questions about those, let me know. Again, we'll try and get that sorted out by the end of the night. But if, with that in mind, when you come to the back room, Ayland, you find yourself here. I'm just gonna pull you over there. You find like leaflets for the different extracurriculars, but what you also find is like a intro to each course here. Um, make an investigation check for me, and I'll get you more information about the different courses.
Sure. Let me see what I can do with this. That'll do.
There you go. Okay. We had briefly touched on it before when it came to the specific courses, but I mean, it's been a month and a bit or more than that now, so I'm just going to go over it again quickly. Give me 2 seconds here, and I will pull up a quick overview for you. It's my fault for not having that ready on me. Let me know if you guys have any questions about any of the extracurriculars or jobs. In the meantime here. Okay, so arcanobotany is basically research into things like alchemy, and how various natural materials are used in everyday magic to enhance uh, or harm or the like. It basically is research into like how to make better potions, how to make different types of potions, how to change them, how to modify spells, or why certain spells require certain reagents, that kind of thing. So that's the one offered by Witherbloom. That's over in the Witherbloom not dormitories, but in the Witherbloom teaching hall. Basic magical auras is a general one offered by Strixhaven. It's basically how to things like how bardic inspiration works, what the bless spell is, what the bane spell is, like how those things affect, and like what it actually does, and what it doesn't do, like some of the myths and those kind of how to debunk that. Beginning computational magic. What numbers mean, how they affect spells and how they're cast, why you can only cast certain spells certain amount of times, and the like. Um, no worries, Barry. Um, Incomancy is how the written word affects magic, and a variety of like how certain words, when used in spells, and why when you are using the verbal and somatic components, why they matter, how to affect them and modify them to like get better results out of your magic. And then there's the history of magic and art, which is basically a look into where magic started from, how the school came to be, how magic has both shaped uh, the college as it is, but also like the creativity that it has inspired through its very myriad uses. And then archaeomancy is delving more directly into um, like magical items of the past, things that were once used, lost, and uncovering like what those ancient things may have once been, what they were used for. Um, like for example, delving into an ancient ziggurat to find out like why the ziggurat was built and like what it was being used for, and like why a ziggurat is important for magic as opposed to like a temple, and like those kinds of things.
Gotcha.
Nithlia, were there any in particular there that you really thought you would be interested in? A lot of this is going to be just kind of fluff. Like it's not necessarily like you guys are going to have to like actually learn about arcanobotany, but it's just to kind of give you some flavor as to what your character's interested in.
Any garden related classes or flower herb related classes she would take?
Okay. So arcanobotany sounds like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I would think maybe history of magic and art would be kind of interesting because Prismari is a very like art related, like, and for you, you mentioned like
The
how,
creative portion of it.
yeah, the creative portion I think might be interesting to you maybe. And then I'm just to give you like a third one, I'm guessing like basic magical auras because the other ones are kind of not quite, I think, in the realm that you want. Like
Yeah.
what are you thinking on
Those,
that?
those are fine.
Okay. I'm just gonna jot those down for you. I really thought you guys could edit those sheets, but I guess if it's not working,
Yeah, I'm still
there's
strange.
no edit button, really? Huh.
It doesn't show it one. Here, let me just here. Let's go through it. Like I have when I'm over top of the text, I can. It comes up with the like as if you're going to be able to type the cursor for that. But then when I get to the actual um,
Because it
charts,
should have been
it doesn't
editable.
allow me.
Huh. It should have been editable just like a character sheet, I
Oh,
thought. But
oh yes, I if I press edit, yes it does. Okay,
oh
so
my gosh,
and then
Brian, Jesus.
I didn't
Sorry.
see it at the top there. I
No,
didn't see the.
fair. My brain was like racking. I'm like, if they don't see an edit button, like, what else can I
I
show them? Like, I have no. And my
yeah.
brain just didn't even think of the idea that the edit button. I'm sorry. It's my fault.
No issues.
Okay.
So yeah, so I have to type those into my year one courses. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Or
yeah. You're gonna put that in your year one courses.
but you only put the three. You don't put, I guess,
You,
magical physiology
magical
is by
physiology
itself.
is everybody's gonna have. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to be taking basic magical auras, computational magics, and archaeomancy.
Okay.
Ones I was thinking.
Okay. So feel free to jot those in. I'm just doing that for Nithlia's at the moment, just so
Yeah,
I
I
don't
just gotta
forget them.
see if I can take them from the other thing, so I don't have
Because
to
I was
try
just
and
playing.
spell this out.
Yeah. I was just trying to make sure, like, because I thought if you guys couldn't edit them, I should just make sure that they're in there.
Well, that works nicely. So yeah, you can just copy and paste them from your your student schedules.
Perfect.
Worked out
That's
well.
kind of what I was hoping.
Yeah. Now the relationship section, is that for player character relationships we're talking about, or with
So
NPCs?
relationships are the not the player character, but the NPCs. So like
Okay,
McTalk and that kind of stuff.
right.
Like and Coralon that you met. Sorry, not Coralon. Jesus, that's the deity. Cadoris. And then you guys also met Rosie. You guys met Quintilius,
Right.
Antiphian, Melentor the Third. Um, just like Kibiford.
You
Yeah,
think for the long.
I love Kibiford, trust me. I saw Quintilius and I'm like, there's a name to rival Kibiford.
No. Everford is the one and only.
I just meant in length, but yes,
He's the winner.
for sure.
I'm back.
Welcome back. So Barry, I had just kind of briefly gone over each of the courses. If you'd like, I can kind of go over them real quick for you.
No, I read them.
Oh, okay. Um, if you wanted a better like understanding of like what those courses are really going to offer, I can. If you don't, just let me know. On your, have you had a chance to access your tracking sheet? It should be in the same folder as your character sheet.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay. There should be an edit button at the top that allows you to go into the actual tracking sheet and edit it. And then so in your report card section, you're going to write where it says number 1, number 2, number 3. That's where you'll write your courses.
Okay, cool.
The relationships, that's where you're going to put, you basically can have up to 4 main relationships with NPCs in the school that like are like your main relationships. These can be friendly or rivals, right? Like so McTalk, who's an orc, might be a rival relationship that you have. And you can put his name in the relationship box there, and that way you can always keep track of it yourself as to like what's going on, how the relationship's been going, and like what that has led to thus far.
Or maybe Weatherington, the guy he scalped in the middle.
Yeah, Jesus, man.
Yeah, I like that guy.
Wait, it's supposed to be it's supposed to be the next to our character sheet, like a tab next to our character sheet.
No. So in the folders on the right-hand side, you know how where you
Right.
accessed Nithlia, there
Yeah.
should be Nithlia's tracking sheet.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've added your courses in there here. I'm gonna hit
Oh,
save.
thanks.
I put your courses in there because like I said, I didn't think you guys could edit them. Once we figured it out with Brian, I was like, okay, good, they can edit them from there. So basically, whenever you encounter an NPC that you want to like keep as a focus of relationships, just add them in to the relationship section, and that way it tells me like this character matters to you, because you're essentially going to meet them every day throughout the first year, at the very least. And not every encounter with them is going to mean anything, right? Like some days you're just going to pass by them in the halls, but like in the event something does happen that involves them, like this will tell me like, oh, Ayland, you would have heard about this because you pay attention to what's going on with Erzmaktok. He got into a fight with another student. When that happened, what did you
was
do?
the other student's name Barry?
But that's what I mean, right? Like those things are something that you guys will have to kind of figure out for yourselves, and there are benefits to both being friendly and antagonistic to various characters. So, Barry, if you want to put Weatherington in there, you certainly can.
I already did. He's my rival.
Okay, so so the way it works is when you're giving somebody a relationship, whether you're considering them a friend, a rival, or if you get them beyond a certain point, a beloved, aka like a romantic paramour or the like, that's up to you if you ever want to take something that far with an NPC. But basically, the gist of the relationship thing, let me pull it up here. I'm going to give this as a handout so that you guys can see it as well. And I'm going to move these into your characters' areas here so that these are easier to read.
Should we be able to actually open these?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. It's just not allowing me to from the...
Okay. Give me a second here. Well, I don't think you're supposed to be able to edit them, but you should be able to read through them? Question mark? Like the I see. Okay, hang on. Ha ha ha. I didn't realize. Sorry, some of this is GM notes, not player notes. I didn't realize. Sorry. Is that the same for jobs and extracurriculars?
I think so.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. So I do have to go over these with everyone. Okay, I apologize. That's my bad.
You could basically, if you're able to edit like you were for the like copy and paste, you could always do that and make your own.
Yeah. I was debating doing that. Here, I'll probably do this. So this one here isn't really too much of an issue. The job one isn't really much of an issue in terms of the relationships technically do, but because that's got like you get benefits and like stuff like that. So like
benefit.
Yeah, like, they help you with finding library books more easily and the like stuff like that. So I updated jobs with that. I'm gonna edit the relationships one here.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Okay, I've updated relationships, and I'm going to do extracurriculars right now. Okay, the relationships I actually didn't have to worry about. I thought there was going to be things in there you weren't supposed to see, but it's actually fine. There, I've updated them all so they're actually all visible. Sorry about that. I thought they were. I'll just pop these up for you guys. There. Let me know if you guys can read through those now or not.
I'm looking through the jobs one right now.
Okay. And I do apologize. I know this is a lot of like bookkeeping for D&D. It's mostly, like I said, just to kind of get the flavor and everything of like what your characters are doing day in day out. A lot of this is gonna make give me stuff that I can go like, hey, while you were at your job, this thing happened, or maybe this student showed up, maybe a rival appeared, like so on and so forth. So um, I would appreciate if you guys give that some a look over and let me know what you guys are thinking, or if you have any questions. Um, Ruben said he was going to join as soon as possible, but he said that about an hour and a half ago. So I'm guessing something came up, but I hope he's all right. I'm guessing probably kid related. Usually is what.
Yeah, at that age, there's no timetable for us. So.
Yeah, I just it was one of those things where when the food fight broke out, I was like, man, Ruben would have been all over that shit. Or Oodle would have been all over that shit. Listen to me using people's names. Whoops. Didn't mean to.
I tried to make up for his enthusiasm.
Oh, I mean, you were.
Yeah, by
Hey,
being
there's
completely fucking unhinged.
nothing wrong with being a chaos monkey.
Chaos Goblin.
Yeah. Well, actually, I had that notation towards Oodle. I'm gonna put that notation also towards Barry.
Yeah, Barry and Oodle are both chaotic goblins.
Yeah.
Chaotic forces of nature, because nobody knows if they're human or not. Nobody knows what they are whatsoever.
I mean, I love it. I also hate it because it's really hard to figure out what they're gonna do. But like, I love it.
It's good for this.
Yeah,
It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, 100%. Okay.
Right.
Oh, I need to look up the extracurricular. What's the other thing?
And then we'll.
Yeah, I've chosen my job.
Okay, cool.
Working for the campus grounds, I'm a trash collector.
Okay.
Do we want to?
Do you eat the trash?
I'm not Oscar the Grouch.
He lives in the trash.
I just think it's a good way to find stuff that people, throw away indiscriminately.
That's interesting. Interesting idea.
What's
Goes
that?
to the ground.
I'm sort of floating between Biblioplex and Campus Magic Labs
Right.
as either a bookshelver maybe, or for the Biblioplex, so I can read while I'm going to the next
Right.
thing, or the Campus Magic Labs, the volunteer lab partner sounds interesting.
Right. Okay.
Hmm.
And
Would I know ahead of time who the co-worker is?
you
Probably
would
not,
be
right?
meeting them. Like, I will introduce them at some point during one of our sessions. I'll be like, hey, during your thing, your coworker came over to you and introduced himself, and like I will be able to kind of like introduce that character at that point, and you can decide how you'd like to handle it, whether you want to be friendly or rivalrous.
Yeah, I think so. You don't want us to try and we're not applying for these jobs. There's no
No, the
interview
jobs are
right
available
now.
to the students. Like you don't have to do an application. They're like, hey, if a student wants the job, 5 gold pieces a day. I think it's a day or per job.
A week, I think is what it
Per
says.
week. Okay.
Yeah.
Couldn't remember. So gold piece per day, basically, and from that, you guys get a little bit of additional benefits in that way. And just looking over, so Barry, I've updated your relationship tracker for the two of them. You currently have a -1 for both characters because both responses were more rivalrous than friendly. Nithlia.
He wants to work as I guess, would it be like a groundskeeper or something?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Like just
In
someone who takes care of the plants.
in Biblioplex,
A
there's
gardener?
the garden tender.
Yeah.
There you
So
go, garden
and
tender.
there's garden
and
tender
there's campus grounds.
There's a lawn manicurist for campus grounds.
Or yeah.
Lawn manicurist.
Yeah.
You'd get to work with me.
There's a groundskeeper at the intramural fields.
Mm-hmm.
There's a groundskeeper at the stadium. That's true. You do get to work with the unhinged litter retriever that is Barry if you work at the campus grounds as a lawn
He's gonna
manicurist.
take the trash, put it in his pockets, and then at the end of the shift, he's gonna pour it all out, pick out all the best shiny objects,
I
put
will
them in a
share.
sock.
I will
He's
share.
gonna
We'll
put them in a
share.
sock, and then he's gonna use the sock of shiny objects to hit people.
Sock of shiny objects. Oof. Whose plan was this again?
These are all good ideas.
Yes, they are.
You're welcome.
This is like, I'm not evil, but if I were, here's how I would do my evil.
He's just really unhinged. He's just really fucking unhinged. You're telling me you won't meet someone who's like, look at all my marbles. I put them all in this bag, and guess what? I can hit with this bag. Check it out. Can't tell me that someone's not unhinged.
I just had a really bad nightmare.
It's true. You
Oh
really
my
did.
god.
You really did.
Rest in peace.
That was Barry's bad day. It was a very bad day.
It was a very bad day.
Oh.
I,
There's a groan there.
at least. Listen, I immediately I said it and I was like, oh no. I
Oh
gotta
man.
go in. I gotta go in.
But
I encourage all puns.
Nithia's like, take them or leave them.
Missouri,
Sometimes they're
I think.
great, but sometimes they're much. Okay, cool. So I mean, those seem like probably the best options. Like the garden tender is probably like exactly what you'd be looking at. So I guess my question would be like, do you want to do the garden tender thing or the lawn manicurist? Like, do you want it to be like,
hello?
sorry, hello, welcome back.
Hello?
Ruben's here.
Hey, Ruben. Oh, he's muted, but he's here. Hello, friend. Why don't I hear? Hang on.
He's muted, definitely.
Yeah, no, I'm just curious why I never hear a boom boom when people join the channel. I think I did that to myself.
Are you going to do the same kind of list there for extracurriculars?
I
He did
believe I
this.
did.
Yes, it is there.
Yep. You might have to close the extracurriculars and reopen it. But I moved them into the same area as your character sheets. Just because that way it'll be easier for you guys to take a look at that.
Yeah, I can open jobs, I can open relationships, but I can't open extracurriculars.
Okay, here, let me share that with you. I'll just repop it open. Show to players. Does that work?
I've got the extracurriculars. I don't know what's.
Brutal cast magic missile now.
Hi,
Oh,
Ruben.
Jesus.
Did that work for you, Barry?
Not at all.
Okay. It might be. That means it's probably open somewhere on your screen. Okay. Maybe refresh the Roll20, if you don't mind. See if that works. Maybe it will, maybe it won't.
How do I do that without signing out?
Just hit the refresh or reload this page button at the upper left. You don't have to close the web browser, but just the
circle with the arrow.
yeah. There's Oodle.
Yes.
Oh.
Thank you.
and
I got
Nifley.
it. Thank you. Thank you. I got it.
Perfect.
Playing
Okay.
in bed together?
Just with some +1.
Does the screwdriver fit in this? Ooh. How are you feeling?
Okay.
Dum dum dum.
Ruby, welcome. Um, we just did
Okay,
a day a couple weeks after
I'll do
previous
that.
session where they did one of their first days at the magical physiologies course. There was a food fight in the cafeteria, which unfortunately you missed. Your character was sleeping in, and has turned out to have slept through the whole day, unfortunately. It's a shame, but now they're just sorting out what extracurriculars, what jobs they want to take, if they want to take a job, and we're just kind of getting all the T's crossed, I's dotted, P's and Q's sorted, the like.
For sure. Oodle ran down and started throwing food after the mess was being cleaned up.
Ran down and ate the food after it was cleaned up. Is that what you
Ate
said?
it and threw some of it. He ate some and he threw some.
Yeah, he's like, damn, I missed the party. I guess I better make up for lost time.
Smearing the food on his face. And
Yeah, war paint.
I was a part of this. I was.
Oh my god.
Memories! Okay, I'm going back to sleep.
See, he should also work outside with us. And everybody can just pick up and eat the trash.
You guys
Huh.
are just gonna be the green team.
Yep, they pick up and eat the trash, and I just replant the trees.
So near your
The
character
ultimate
sheet.
form of recycling.
Yes, true. Um, Oodle, near your character sheet, you should see that there's now 3 little tabs: extracurriculars, jobs, and relationships in the characters drop down near where you access your character sheet. And
Okay, yeah, I see.
yeah, so if you want to take a look through those, you're allowed 2 extracurriculars or an extracurricular and a job.
It won't let me look at the extracurriculars.
You may have to refresh the same way Barry did. I think you had it open before I had saved the new info, and that's my fault because I hadn't fixed it properly yet.
So just refresh the page.
Yeah, if you just refresh, well, you should be fine, Oodle. Like you should be able to open up those 3, and this should be fine. But
Oh, yeah, because mine
Okay,
is just
there
a
we go.
picture.
what's that? Sorry, Ruben.
Mine's just a picture.
Yours is just a
Oh,
picture.
no, no.
Okay.
Oh, no, there it is.
Okay.
It just didn't load.
Okay, no problem. So yeah, you can either pick 2 extracurriculars or an extracurricular and a job. The reason I mention this is because your extracurriculars give you skills and dice that you can use to roll with more likely chances of success than if you do like a job or something like that. But jobs give you money, so do you want 1 and 1, or do you want more skills but less money? Like that's basically the. You can't work 2 jobs though. You can only get 1. A lot of students, not as many jobs. Other than that, Barry, where do we find you after you've like enrolled in your extracurriculars and, or sorry, I guess you've picked your job. I don't know if you picked your extracurricular yet.
Oh yeah, I'm in intramural silkball club.
Oh, okay. So Barry does go into Silk Ball. Okay, cool.
So
Had
I'm
to get that aggression somehow.
so I'm I don't really know much about silk ball, so I'm gonna go ask around.
Okay, cool. So you're doing some research. So my first question is like, are you just looking around the biblioplex? Like, how much effort are you putting into this research?
Well, I know that Aylin's there, so I'm gonna go talk to Aylin and see if he knows anything or can help me find a book on silk ball.
Okay, awesome.
With that roll that I did before, maybe I'll just point him directly where he needs to go.
True. So
Sure.
like, there's a silk ball like leaflet, and like Barry, when Aelin points it out to you when you're here in this room, and I'm just gonna move the camera over here just so that you guys can see. Um, inside the room, like you open the leaflet, and the leaflet shows off like 5 like very differently designed, um, very like eye-catching stadiums where you can see players running like up and down on these platforms. You see like the silk ball itself in one of the players' hands, and you can see like magic being cast from like the edges of the fields, and like it looks like just chaos and bedlam. Um,
That sounds perfect.
right? Um, and you can see like in one of them, it looks like they tried to like edit it out of the picture, but like one of the stadiums where like they kind of, because what they kind of did is they like took the leaflet and they like put a picture and they overlay put a second picture nearby, so like the corners like overlapping, and like just overlapping you can see like a magic missile is like hit the ball carrier like in the picture,
Jesus.
and you can see like he's just like knocked aside and is like falling into the water below, and like the ball is just like in the air, and like you can just like see in the picture like this like hit by this magic missile, which is like you're reading the little leaflet, and it's like, no damaging spells allowed, no that, and like yet in this picture very obviously, though you think they might have tried to hide it, somebody definitely got hit by a damaging spell. um Whereas like you see another one of the other pictures on like one of the stadiums where there's like bridges and chasms and stuff. Like one of the students looks like 20 foot tall, where all the other students are like their regular height, and they're like grabbing onto his leg trying to keep him from walking forward.
Cool.
Does look fun, doesn't it?
It does look like a lot of fun.
I will pull Nethy over here just so, because
I'm
she's
so glad I signed up.
I'm flipping. I'm having the same problem as having with trying to find a job earlier. It's like I'm looking at different things, and do you want to go with your skills, or do you want to try something new? And
I looked at it as trying to find something new.
yeah, something I'm really bad at.
come on, what's the worst that could happen?
Why would you say that?
I'm the DM. That's my whole job, is to put odd and interesting and bizarre. Yep, that's me, Menace.
Yeah,
Oh,
damn.
I wonder if I should join Student Mages of Faith. Yikes!
Oh my god.
LMFAO, do it. Fucking do it.
So what do you think about God?
Who?
What?
What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
There's no God.
Is that like a fish or something?
Yes. No, that's the best part.
Is that
It's
like your cousin?
Oof.
It's just oodle, please.
These pious students of many faiths gather to share prayers and theological debates and to celebrate one another's high holidays. All right.
Let's see. Where was that?
Pretty sure.
I'm just trying to find something. Sorry.
What's that?
I said I'm pretty sure I picked mine already.
Okay. Which so you said for jobs you're gonna do the garden tending or the lawn manicuring? Oh yeah, no, sorry, it
Guard.
updated. Perfect. Sorry, I didn't realize that it updated. I went into edit and it showed up. I'm sorry.
You're fine. It's okay.
Um, because you have a job though, you can only pick one extracurricular.
Okay. Then just get rid of the fine arts.
Okay. Okay. Do. Okay, so that means you get nature and survival. Nature, survival, and Maktok, Roz. I can never spell his name right. Grosh. And what is it?
I'll be right back.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, who chose what?
Well, it depends. What are you asking? Jobs or extracurricular?
Extracurricular. Extracurricular.
Nithlia chose
Maybe
the
extracurricular.
horticulture club, which is basically like the gardens and that kind of stuff, like garden tending and special plant thing.
Very on
Barry went silk ball, intramural silk ball. And one student die for each. Okay.
No one chose LARPing.
I was looking at it. I think I would scare too many of the animals. That's the problem I'd have with it.
Okay. I was gonna say if anyone else did LARPing, I would have joined them, but
Right.
LARPing's like the game within a game.
Right? Fucking meta. Yo, dog, I heard you like role playing, so we put role playing games in your role playing games so you could role play your role play.
I'm gonna roleplay as my character roleplaying. In the LARPing
The
guild.
Strixhaven Iron Lifter Society sounds interesting too.
Oh yeah, no, you guys haven't met her, but there's like a dwarf lady who's like super in on that. She's really cool. Greta, go run.
No,
Aylin, have you updated your? Oh, you know what? It might be. Welcome back.
I'm still in the edit right now, so
Okay,
maybe that's
yeah.
why.
So I'm gonna just cancel out. That way I don't
Here,
change anything.
hold on. How do I? Okay, I'll save changes for now, and you can take a look at it if you want for now. I haven't put the extracurriculars in yet.
Right. No problem.
Or extracurricular. I'm.
By the way, do you want to have, or I guess I should introduce them before you decide on whether you want to be like a rival or a friend?
Yeah, I don't know yet, so
Yeah.
that's why I was holding out because I'm gonna be having to work with that person, right? So.
Yep. Yeah, you know what? Rival. I want to be a better bookshelver than Drashomir.
Could be.
Maybe. I want to be the best bookshelver there was. I'm gonna get all the books.
I could be really bad at this job. We don't know yet.
That's true. Cool.
I know I'm going to be really good at my job.
Oh my god, he's just gonna eat all the trash. I know he is. He's gonna be like, check it out, I just found this rock. Sticks the rock in his mouth, tries to draw on the ground with it. Check it out, I know how to do alchemy. Fuck yeah. I just know.
College life is so fun.
Okay.
Play Actors Drama Guild. Interesting.
Okay. Barry, I added Shuvadri to your relationship tracker as well because she's your coworker. just so that it's easier to keep an eye on that. For Niflia, you already have Erzmektok. Oh, I gotta add that, actually. Sorry, I thought I did.
I think I have someone else on my thing who's my coworker.
Yeah. Yeah, Erzmektok is your coworker from the Horticulture Society.
I've lived with him for the last 2 weeks and it sucks.
Wouldn't he be just like a student?
Yeah.
Or like club member instead of my coworker from the club? Because that just sounds like a whole
shit,
different
yeah,
vibe.
that's true. Yeah, no, you're right.
Coworker from the club?
Club member and coworker. And coworker. Damn, like you two are like. Wait, no, your coworker's different. You're right. Sorry. I didn't realize what you were. You're totally right though. Drashomir. Okay. And unhinged goblins. Lol.
You know who they are.
Okay.
I think he's gonna take the intramural silk ball just 'cause he's gonna try and figure out what the hell he can do.
Okay.
I think that's my main thing right there.
Okay. Cool. Okay, so I've updated Nithlia's with Drashomir, because apparently Drashomir also does garden tending, apparently. Because he works in the Biblioplex. You guys are both working in the Biblioplex. That's why you guys both have him as a coworker.
Oh, okay.
He might be working a different task than you guys at the time, but... okay, so that's that. Barry, we're just double checking berries.
Is there somebody within the Silk Club that I have to choose of these 3 members?
No.
Or just choose them all?
Essentially, you'd be choosing them all.
There we go.
But yeah, if you don't have enough space for them all, you'll just pick whichever ones you want to care about.
It'll actually, when you're editing it, it'll actually switch around for you. So it'll actually change the column format. So it'll fit.
Yeah, I think it only is meant to have 4 relationships total, though. Like 4 major relationships.
Well, I haven't put anything in there yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm just looking at the members.
Okay.
From there, I may choose later.
Yep. Muddy fields with balls made of spider silk. It's rugby. It's probably just rugby, but... so intramural silk ball means you get athletics and intimidation. Oh boy.
Yeah, athletics not so great. Intimidation, yeah, I'm okay.
Well, that's the thing with me. My athletics is not so good, but my intimidation is really good.
Well, you now have a D4 that you can apply towards athletics checks, so that's nice.
Yes, I can.
It's like a free bardic inspiration when it comes to those specific things. You're like, yo, Silk Ball's really teaching me.
It's really changed my outlook on university life.
Oh my god, no.
Listen, I think
I had no idea all I needed to be was part of a team.
Jesus.
Part of the crew, part of the ship.
We're all traumatized at the same time. Ironically. Oh,
I think the worst is when the team is like, we're like a family here. Shut the fuck up, bitch. No, we're not. I'll beat your ass right now. Jesus. We are not friends. Shut up, Stacy. You fucking stole my shorts.
You may have to read this section on relationships for making friends and rivals. I think you're taking this a little too far.
No, she's going just as ham as I hope.
Okay.
Listen, this is
Fuck
school
off,
life.
Janet. I'm not going to your fucking baby shower.
Listen, this is school life. This is the realest shit we ever have to deal with in life.
Oh God, no.
When I tell you that on my first day of freshman year of high school, my principal called me in and he told me if I was up to any funny business, he would expel me in a heartbeat. I didn't even do anything. It was the first 5 minutes of the first day of school, and he already knew who I was. That was a time.
A menace.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm a good menace, though.
It's true. The greatest menace. That never comes out right. God damn it.
Lamau. Lamau.
Fuck. Sometimes I think I'm clever when I'm not.
Diana, shut up.
So Oodle, anything catching your fancy? You mentioned being silk. Sorry. What kind of?
I want to be a barista for my job, and I want to be a cheerleader for my extracurricular.
You want to be a barista for your job, okay?
Oh my god. No. Oh my
It's coffee
god.
and barbecue things.
All right, Fire Jolt Cafe as a barista.
I work at the Fire Jolt Cafe, and I cheerlead otherwise. That's what I
Oh
do.
my god.
I'm making my way to the top of the scene. I'm gonna be the leader.
Can't wait till you get that black apron. Is that what you're saying? Jesus.
There'll be a crazy mix-up one day where Udo shows up to the cafe and he's wearing his miniskirt, and then he's gonna go over to cheerleading, and he's got coffees in his hand. He's like, "Oh no, what did I do?"
Oh my god.
But yeah, those are mine.
Okay.
Okay, I'll be back again.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, Oodle. Oh, and sorry, your intramural, or you chose what for your extracurricular? Oodle?
For me,
Yeah, sorry.
cheerleader.
Cheerleader.
Oh,
Yeah.
who enters the Mage Tower cheerleader?
Oh
Like that's what I'm
shit!
gonna do.
I
I'm gonna be a cheerleader.
totally forgot that was the thing. Mage Tower Cheer Squad. Okay. Xanther Bowen. What a name. Member of Mage Tower Cheer Squad. I feel like you're just going to be a cheer squad member so you can try and interfere with the Mage Tower matches.
No. Why would I ever do that?
There are Mage Tower matches? I didn't see Mage Tower as a extracurricular.
You don't get to participate until second or third year, I think it is.
Oh, okay.
Not offered for first years. But you can cheer them on, you know. Perception.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
I want to make a pyramid and put Hector on top of it. That's my main reason for wanting to be a cheerleader.
Oh my god. Oh, think about that kind of stuff. Oh, that'll be funny. I like to imagine he's gonna like have a skull with a megaphone in one hand and be like, Hector, Hector, he's our man. If he can't do it, no one can. And meanwhile, meanwhile, Oodle's just gonna be clapping separately, just like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, it was gonna be clapping while he's balancing him on his tail.
Jeez. They're Bowen. Okay. And 1d4. Okay, awesome, cool. So that means you guys are basically all enrolled. The only thing, Oodle, that you have left is I need to know what 3 courses your character chose.
Sorry?
I don't believe you let me know what your courses were yet.
Oh, right, yes. Absolutely.
If you haven't picked
Look
that
at those.
yet, you should be able to see a link under student schedules, which I'll put in the same area as the extracurriculars, jobs, and relationships. Just so it's easy for you to find. Okay, awesome. That's like 90% of the paperwork done, so we don't have to worry about that basically ever again, other than what you guys encounter in session.
Or when we would change everything in year 2 or year 3 or
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but that's thankfully, how quickly are we really gonna reach year 2? Like,
good point.
um, okay. So I think probably the next thing I need to do is add some of these characters to your guys's visuals here. So Nithlia
Yeah.
knows Dresholm. Sorry, I'm like partially talking out loud. So
Mm.
this is Dreshomir. So Aeland and Nithlia, this is your companion who works at the Biblioplex.
Aw. It looks really nice.
He's a really sweet dude.
I think he's good at massaging.
Good at massaging. God damn it, man. You and your massaging thing. God damn it.
He's got all big old beef hands.
I'm surprised you didn't take a job with Witherbloom just to, get closer to your friend.
Crush. Doesn't he
Don't
have
be
a crush
impressed
on
by
that one lady?
That true. That too.
my
Mavinda Sharpbeak
owl
from
dog.
Silverquill.
Isn't she just the guidance counselor?
Yep. But she's also a Silverquill teacher.
I see.
He's the apple of my eye. Wait, I'm Silver Quill, right?
What's that?
I'm Silver Quill, right?
Yeah.
You
Oh
are.
my god. I'm still in the you're gonna see me clearly in the blood.
Jesus. Okay, so that's your guys' working companion. You've already seen Ursmic talk. I'm just putting them into your guys' character sheets so they're easier to remind yourself what they look like if you're like, who is that person again? Did anyone have any questions about any of the things that they've enrolled in, or anything I can clarify with that while I'm kind of just doing some cleanup for your guys' sheets and stuff?
Do I have to roll to say that, God, I don't know how to say his name. Talk there? Because I live with him, right? He's my roommate.
Yeah, he's also your roommate, correct?
Do I have to roll to say that the reason I slept in was because he has night terrors and it keeps me up?
Daniel, or sorry, boy, that happens once on occasion. Barry, do you want to give Oodle a rundown of the dream that you had? Because maybe Ursmactalk had a similar dream? Question mark.
Was this dream about me, Barry? Do you have dreams about me at night? I'm not saying I don't have dreams about you, but like I just want to see
Gee. I don't know if Barry. Barry? He might have been away from the computer? Question mark. Okay. I don't have a handout for Ruida. Okay, so that's Nithlia's. Ayland has dress homier now. Oh, plus one of those three. We haven't encountered them yet, so I will leave them for now. Oh, but I should put. Sorry. I know this is boring. I apologize, guys.
You're fine.
It will be a lot easier when we like can sit down in paper and play in paper and dice again. With
Yeah.
Nithlia being able to like call in and like have her there as well. It's getting closer to August, guys. We're halfway there. Like, I can't believe it's already been 4 months, and we're 4 months closer. Soon I'll have that table, that glorious table.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay. Ayland, I didn't know. Did you want to maintain any sort of relationship with Rosie, the Silk Ball ref?
I think we will find that out based off of how the Silk Bowl matches go. I think that's where I'm thinking in terms of like that in the classes, like kind of figuring out who I might have the relationship with outside of these chuckleheads.
True. You'll have a lot to deal with already.
Yeah.
Okay. Works for me. Just figured I'd ask before I assume.
Yeah, no. Once we get into the actual
right,
the classes, there's also that one kid at the was it Quintilius?
Yeah, Quintilius, yeah.
Yeah. I'll have to see if I want to.
For sure.
Add him or not, we'll see.
So I will show off Shuvadri for Barry. Barry, this is Shuvadri Glintmantle, a Silver Quill student, who is your fellow co-worker on the campus grounds. I forgot he's like not here. I haven't been able to hear him for a little while.
I'm back.
Oh, welcome back. Hello, friend.
Hi.
Hi. Sorry, I was talking to you. I didn't realize you'd stepped away. That's my fault.
Oh, I forgot to send a message. I'm sorry. That's my
No,
fault.
you good. I was wondering if you could
Just don't do it
tell
again because I was very
Oodle
upset.
about the nightmare that you had, because he was saying that McTalk had him late to his classes today because McTalk had night terrors, and I thought it'd be very interesting if you described the nightmares that you had, and maybe McTalk had some similar ones.
Well, it was.
I was gonna say too that I had dreams about you too, Barry. So if our dreams match up, I'll tell you what mine.
Okay. I'll tell you mine. It was a dark and stormy night. Uh, there was lots of mud, and it was almost like I was in the midst of a battle between orcs and uh, humans. Um, it was very realistic, and I woke up not knowing whether I was sleeping safe and sound in my bed or if I was still laying in the middle of a battlefield.
Yeah, that's how his day's
Yeah,
been.
so mine included both of us, and it was a lot sexier. So I'm just not gonna say what mine was at all. Then
All
Okay,
right then.
so then I woke up really thirsty and I went down to the cafeteria and I got some milk and I grabbed the large milk and I started drinking it really fast and it started spilling all over me. And then this guy made fun of me, so I started a food fight.
That what happened this morning.
That's all I remember.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see the beginning of that, so all I saw was you being pelted by many, many members of the of the student body.
that would make sense because when I woke up, some dude ran by me covered in food and crying. I pushed him.
Well, Aelin came to, either try to help me or try and stop me. I wasn't too sure. He kind of helped me and tried, and yeah, he helped me a little bit. He gave me a pizza. So I took the slices of pizza and I uh, moistened them with the debris and liquid that was on the floor and made pizza balls.
Debris.
And I threw them at this guy named Weatherington. And I knocked him out. And then I walked over and took out my dagger and I
Yeah.
cut
Okay,
off
this
his
is
locks
close
of
to
hair.
my dream. Though. This is very close to my dream.
Dear Lord. Barry, what courses did you pick again? Because they're not on your report card there, so
Oh, uh,
I'll just
let
add
me
them
go
real
back and
quick.
take a look.
Or yeah, okay, sure. Take a look. Feel free. Let me know. Um. Okay. Well, leaving that hanging in the air. Oodle. This is Mina Lee. She is one of your coworkers at the Fire Jolt Cafe. She is also
You
of
mean
Silver Quill.
oh, nice, nice.
And your Silk Ball Cheer Squad compatriot, Xanther Bowen. This is him. Pretty cool dude.
She was very charismatic.
And
Are those the only two people I know?
well, those are the two that you know through your job and your
Extracurricular.
extracurricular. Thank you. Two of the other characters we won't know based until we know like with the teams and stuff, how that all shakes out.
Okay.
But yeah, so those are them. And the other question, Ayland, did you want a relationship at all with Cadoris, the Prismari guy? Or not Prismari, the Quandrix guy.
Cadoris, eh?
This one. He was the guy in the
In the Pismari area that
Yeah.
was doing the painting,
Yep.
right? He's into larging, right?
Yeah, he's in the larging, the live action role
Isn't he
play.
the guy from the drama club?
No, that's
Yeah, that-
Quintilius.
That's Quintilius. Yeah.
That's the this guy.
Oh, that
Oh,
guy.
Jesus.
Edward Cullen.
Yeah.
They look like they're about to have like a larg and drama off, like, like stomp the yard style.
I'd say probably Cadoris.
Okay.
Quintilius, I think I would just ignore offhand, just because he's.
You don't say.
But okay, which one's the one from the? Oh, he's in the Play Actors Drama Guild.
Yeah.
Quintilius, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say Cadoris.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, so from the characters you've been introduced to, at least visually, you'll be encountering them more. Like, I will be like, oh yeah, during this week, Drashomir came up to you, needed to switch some shifts. Did you give him a hand with that, or did you not? Like, I will come up with little things that you guys will have with your coworkers and your fellow members of your groups, and hopefully this will give you guys some like semblance of NPCs who are actually up to stuff, as opposed to just like people on a sheet. But if you guys have ideas and stuff like that, like, oh yeah, I want to go reach out to Cadoris because I want to do a thing, that's also super awesome. So please don't be afraid to suggest stuff. I've updated Aylin's tracking sheet now with Cadoris, and I think that's basically that. So I was thinking maybe we'll go until midnight our time here, which is in like 28 minutes, or 38 minutes rather. Nithlia, how you feeling?
I'm tired.
Tired? So do we maybe want to call it now, since we spend a lot of time handling paperwork, and kind of kick right back into it next week?
Maybe so. Only because it's already like midnight and a half.
Yeah, I mean,
On
I've been
my
up
side.
since 6 in the morning, so like I totally understand. Like, I've been up a long while. I had a nap when I got home just to like have
You
some actual
understand the
energy.
power
So
of the nap.
it's great. It is great. So then maybe just keeping that in mind, maybe we'll call it here then. We've got everybody's classes picked out. We've got all these relationships that we're establishing. You guys have all your extracurriculars. Actually, I should double check that before we end. Barry, did you get those? Oh, you haven't picked the courses yet.
Yeah, I put them in.
Oh, are they? Okay, hang on. If I do this, there we go. Now they're showing. And Oodle. You pick your courses, my man. They should be in this here. So yeah, with that in mind, then, what's that?
I'm gonna choose inclemency for sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Beginning
click on
inclemency.
the other
Okay.
one. Maybe I'll let you know next time I see you.
Yeah.
To discuss the other classes.
Okay, sounds good. I'm just gonna put then custom course and custom course 2, just so I don't forget. Okay, awesome. All right, awesome. I hope you guys had a good time. I'm sorry for having to throw all that paperwork at you, but we were gonna have to take care of it at some point, so I'm glad we got that out of the way. I'm hoping that with our next session, which we're gonna hopefully try and have for next Friday, I think I might be closing. Barry, I was gonna talk to you about that. I was gonna see if I could find somebody to cover that shift, but if I can't, then we may not have a session next Friday.
You could switch with Ruben.
Trust me, I looked at that. I was like, oh yeah, Ruben. Oh shit. But yeah, we will try and figure out. If not this coming or next Friday, then we will certainly do the Friday after that and try and get everybody in. I hope you guys had a blast. I had fun. Again, I apologize for paperwork. I know I don't like giving people a bunch of paperwork that they have to sort out, but I think this will make the rest of the Strixhaven story a lot of fun. And I hope you guys have a blast, and we'll see you guys next time.
Right.
Bye bye.
See you all.
Bye, guys. Have a good night.